It's Sunday afternoon, about 5 o'clock-ish. Only I can say is next weekend, I think it's next weekend, daylight saving times kicks in. So instead of being 5 o'clock, it'll be about 6 o'clock. I've got ready to yawn. I don't know what it is. Every time I get on the camera, I want to yawn. But I get off camera, I don't yawn at all. I can't figure it out. But, yeah, yesterday afternoon, early afternoon, my father-in-law was supposed to come over here and pick me up, and we're supposed to go into Lowe's and got a bunch of wood. Well, of course, I called and it rang. I called him twice, and it rang and rang and rang and rang and rang. Nobody ever picked up. Never left a voicemail because, either the phone didn't receive it, the answering machine didn't pick up, or the phone wasn't set up to take call. I don't know. But anyway, it rang like 20, 30 times, and I just said, hell with it. Hold on. And, of course, then I was talking to my wife and stuff, and she's like, well, did you call Garrett? And I was like, yeah. She goes, well, what'd he say? I said, I don't know, never got a reply. So then, I left and went to go get dinner for the kids last night. And on the way back, I stopped off at Kroger's and I picked a couple of spices that I needed to make some stuff I was working on. And, of course, when I got back home, my oldest son was like, he said, yeah, Garrett called and said he'll come by in the morning and he'll come get you and, take you to Lowe's and get all the wood you need. Groovy. So later on that evening on Saturday, one of the fellers from Louisville came down with a load of brick for me. And, of course, I gave him a few items, plus I paid him for the brick and I paid him money for gas. And he sat around here maybe in about an hour-ish, somewhere on there. And we shot shit for a little bit. And, of course, he had to leave because he was catching a plane to go to Vegas in the morning, this morning. And, and then this morning, they were like, my wife and my mother-in-law and whoever else was like, yeah, well, they said Garrett's going to come by in the morning, come pick you up and take you to Lowe's. Well, I know Lowe's don't open until about 12. So, I sat around the house up until about 4 o'clock, and I was like, fuck it. I went to AutoZone, traded in my battery, got me a new battery in return. So the Blazer is back operational again. Well, for the most part operational. I got to take it to the shop on the 11th so they can change out the right side upper control arm, and then after they do that, then I go pay for it and pick it up, and I'll be back and running around town doing my yippee-doo-dahs, and I can go see Puckett on Fridays like I used to, and yeah, because my Blazer's been parked since November, and here it is. Almost getting work on the second week of March. So yeah, I've been without wheels for a little while, which is no big deal because that's less mileage I stuck on the vehicle. And even though we had a car here, I went very, very few places in the car except for maybe going up to Walmart, get some small groceries and miscellaneous kind of necessities for the house, whatever. But yeah, that's why I didn't take the car much, because you can't stick much in a car except for some groceries, and that's about it. But the good thing about it is, because I got to take the Blazer to the shop on the 11th. They're going to fix it that Friday morning on the 12th. So sometime between that morning and that afternoon, I should be able to pick up the Blazer and be ready to shag ass and rock and roll. Which will be hunky-dory in my book. But one of the things that I'm going to get not this weekend, but this coming up weekend, I'm going to go to Rural King, and I get one of those big old steel circle bands, and what people use for making like outside fire stuff, like fire pit stuff like that. Because I got about 60-something large clam style block over there. And I'm going to put that around the band of it, and then whatever excess clam pieces I have left over, I think in front of the carport, carport goes this way, but in the front of it, I'm going to take some of those clam pieces, if I have any left over, and make a small lip on the front of it for like a water deterrent type thing. So that, because every time we get a lot of rain, it just goes right through the carport and it washes a lot of the crap out and through and stuff like that. So I'm going to find what I can to minimize the water flow. And I found a thing online to where I can put an adapter inside the carport in the face of it, to where it'll bolt into the metal, and then I can get some side metal and enclose the ass end of it and have like a doorway piece, stuff like that. I just gotta remember where I saw it online. Because I know I checked it or saved it or something somewhere. I just don't remember where. And of course, then when I get the blazer operational and everything else, I can go and get me a few bags of sackcrete and stuff like that, and I can pour my walkway in front of the house where the steps are, so we don't gotta keep walking in dirt and mud and everything else. And I can slowly get piece by piece of certain things, and therefore, you know, it'll make small improvements of the house as everything goes through. Now, one of the biggest things I'm having an issue with is because I went on Lowe's.com. Of course, I went to my local store finder, and I might have to order it from another store, just have it wait till it gets here. I have to get T111 board for the back side of my place because I have some issues with some of the side molding, not molding, but the siding of the back side of my place. It needs to be replaced. So I'm either going to get Mike that used to live across the street to help me with it, or I'm going to get, well, probably I might ask Brandon maybe too if he wants to do it. I could give him some extra money if Mike can't do it. But yeah, there's a lot of things I've been piddle farting around the yard with. I've been doing small things because I'm still in a boot, and since I'm not able to get around as much as I would like to be getting around, I've been, doing a little bit every day. It's like 55 degrees right now. And the reason why I'm not that cold is I got this little toboggan thing on my head, which keeps a lot of body heat in. My arms are a little cool, not too bad. It's not too bad out here, It could be a lot warmer, could be a lot colder. But days like this, I come out here and I do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. One of my next adventures is, after I get the blazers in the shop and fixed and everything's hunky-dory, ready to go, I'm going to go over to Royal King, probably buy me a trailer. And then I can come back to the house with the trailer. I can load up all this crap in my yard, haul it off to the scrap yard, and I'll have that much less I have to worry about. And then I can, start on newer projects around the yard, and start getting things ready for, well, I guess this spring and summer. I still gotta find my clippers and go out there and trim up some of my blackberry bushes that I left over the winter. I need to prune them back, because right now is a good time to prune them. So that way, in the next few months, they'll send out the new growth of it, and it'll make it more bushier, and then that'll be a little easier to pick with and everything else. I'm gonna trim back my grapevines a little bit. For a few years I never trimmed my grapevines. I just let them grow and grow and grow. Well, last summer, about this time last year, I trimmed my grapevines back. I didn't do a hard prune. I just did like a medium prune, and I should have done this a long time ago. But I figured, as long as they grow and they get nice and thick, everything will be hunky dory. No. But I did a prune on it, like a medium prune. I actually got some decent sized grapes. I have little small clusters out of it. So that's another thing I'm going to have to do this week. And I'm going to start doing some of the pruning on that. And, yeah, I mean, I got plenty to do. I'm just kind of limited with 1 foot. And, now, I hate to use the word limited, because I'm not really limited. I just gotta be careful what I do and how I do it, because technically my foot is still broke. Even though I have an air cast on, I still have a broken foot. and I don't need to do anything to make it worse or put stress on the fracture or anything like that. So yeah, that's why I say limited, but it's because if I don't limit myself, I will do something really extraneous or something of that nature, and I'll have more problems. I don't want surgery. But yeah, my new piece I'm building the porch, because I measured my porch that I'm sitting on right now. It's roughly 10 foot long, 8 foot wide. Well, the porch that I'm going to stick on coming off my porch this way, going behind me, is going to be 10 foot wide by 10 foot long. And of course then on this side of my porch, where I got a post here and a post here, no barrier, I guess I'm going to get me some planking of some sort, and put a plank across the top and maybe a thinner plank across the middle to make like a railing for them. And then the same thing with when I build my extension on going this way, except for the difference is the one, well, put my drink down. When it's coming behind me, I'm going to have two posts sticking up, 4x4 posts. And I'm going to put a anchor bolt through one end and an anchor bolt across the other end with like a hook line. And I'm going to stick me a hammock on the porch going this way. And I still might put like a small barrier or something across the bottom of it. But as far as the most part, the two posts are to be sticking up behind me back here. I'm gonna have a hammock stuck on that, so that way I can sit out here in the yard, and even the summertime, even when it's hotter than hell, I can sit out here and enjoy the heat and sweat my ass off and enjoy the breeze like it is right now. But I got a lot of stuff I need to do around here this year. A lot of cleanup I got to do. A lot of redoing. I'm gonna go to Menards and see what about their bathtubs. I found a bathtub there I've been pondering on, and once I do get me a bathtub and everything, I guess I'll have to call Adam and say, hey, when we get a weekend free, you're not too busy, come over here and you can help me tear up my bathroom, and so we can tear the tub out and tear all the stuff out, because I do got some molding around my walls area of an issue. So we might have to tear the walls out and redo the walls and assess the damage on the inside of the wall and everything else as well. But more than likely we're going to gut my master bathroom and basically start back from scratch and redo a lot of shit and fix a lot of shit and everything else. So I'll have a new bathroom this year, and I'll have a additional to the piece of the porch. I am going to contact Mike for sure. Not only for the siding in the back of the place, but I'm gonna ask him if he wants to help me tear off my back porch, because since he does construction all the time, I really trust his opinion. So I'm gonna ask him about that. Actually, when I get done making this video, matter of fact, I'm gonna be on there on Facebook. I'm gonna send him the message to Messenger, and of course it'll be after my doctor's appointments is coming up week. Or is it this week or next week? I think it's next week. Let's see. Today's the 5th, 6th, 7th. I got one appointment this week and I got one next week. So yeah, sometime this week or next week I'll ask him, or even the weekend if nothing else. But because as soon as I can get that back porch torn off, the quicker we can assess the layout and everything, how I want everything done. And we can start working on that as well. But like I said, on the back porch, we're going to have insulated floors, insulated walls, more than likely an insulated ceiling. It's going to be like a mud room. And for y'all don't know what a mud room is, basically it's going to be like I hate to call it a room, really. I mean, it is a room, but it's not like it's going to be, there's no electric going into it. There might be a window or two, but other than that, there's, it's not going to be your standard, home style room. It's more like you come in there, you kick your shoes off, you might have some shelving or some cabinets in it, and that's about it. But I miss my motorcycle I had a long time ago. I mean, I don't miss the danger part of it, but as far as riding the motorcycle, stuff like that, I miss having mine. Will I ever get one again? Probably never. I know I have too many friends of mine that's been killed on motorcycles and everything else, and that's just something I just kind of pushed away and never gave it much thought again. I do miss riding them though. They are fun. Extremely dangerous, especially dumbasses driving cars. But then again, I have seen a lot of motorcycle riders that really are almost as bad as the people driving cars. So on some of the stupid shit they do, like zigzagging through traffic and just how they ride and everything else. But that's a whole different topic there. But anyway, I didn't get my porch started this weekend. I didn't get the lumber porch this weekend. That's why I can't wait to get the Blazer fixed in a trailer, because I'm looking at getting a 5x8 trailer, and I can actually get a good majority of what I need on that trailer. Now I might stick up a little bit, type thing, but the tongues from the end of the trailer, where the measurement form of it is, to the tongue, I'll have enough clearance. I can put any size thing I want on the back of the trailer, and as long as I ratchet it down. I call it zip tying, but that's a flatbedder thing. Get it ratchet down real good and secure. I got nothing to worry about, and I can go there and pick up everything I need, and I don't have to rely on somebody else or call them and say, hey, can you come get me to go do this? It'd just be that much more easier. I hate asking people for help, because a lot of times I feel like that I use the word imposing, but it's almost like it's like they don't want to say yes, but they don't really want to say no either. And it's sometimes it's kind of like, oh, okay, or I and sometimes this is what I get a lot of times too, is people like, well, all you gotta do is ask. I'd be glad to help you. And then a lot of times when I do ask him, it's kind of like, okay. I'm like, just forget it. And that's why a lot of times I go without and don't ask people and everything else. I'm not mechanically inclined. I'm not a construction worker. You can give me a gun, I can tear the thing apart, put it back together, no questions asked. You give me the keys to any tractor trailer, I can drive it, put it in any hole, I can back it, you name it, I can do anything you want with the tractor trailer. You give me the gun, I can do anything you want with the gun. I don't mind manual labor, but when it comes to mechanically, like fixing engines and stuff like that, I know the basics, but I'm no mechanic by any means. And as far as construction wise, I'm out of that I'm completely out of that topic as well. I can do like basic kind of things, but as far as like, if I was, you usually say, here's all the wood you need, or here's all the nails, all the power equipment and everything else, build this house and you can have it. I wouldn't have a house. I'd have like a lean-to against a tree somewhere, and that's about all I'd have, with a big ass pile of lumber sitting around. And I know there's some of y'all gonna be like, y'all gonna laugh about this. No, I wouldn't say laugh, but y'all gonna, there'll be like a snicker. I can't read a tape measure. I've had 1,000 people show me different ways. I can't read a tape measure. I can read like an inch, quarter inch, half inch, 3/4 inch, stuff like that. But all the like the 16ths and all that kind of stuff, I'm lost. Math is my worst subject in the world. And I've had people ask me before, well, if math is your worst subject, how do you drive over the road? Because you have to know the weights, the scales, and of your tires, differentials, and your steers, and how to position the weight, stuff like that. Well, that kind of stuff is a little different than reading a tape measure for me, But yeah, fractions, anything deals with fractions, you forget it. I'm as dumb as a doornail. But I have other qualities that I can do that don't require reading a tape measure. So as far as that goes, that's what benefits me versus everybody else. Everybody says, well, it's never too late to learn. It might not be too late to learn, but I just have a really hard time doing it. So I don't force myself, which I should, but I don't. Now, I'm assuming this video is probably going to be about 15, maybe 20 minutes long-ish. So I think I should probably right now go ahead and just cut it, go inside, start downloading this thing to YouTube, and then go inside and check my water I have on the stove. I got a big ass water bather. I don't imagine the water is hot enough to do anything with yet, but I got about 6, maybe 8 quarts of apple butter in there on the counter. I cooked in a crock pot, and I got 9 jars? 9 half-pint jars, which I know I'm going to have a lot more left over. And then I got some quart jars, and I'm going to load them puppies up as much as I can. And afterwards, I'm going to have to get my little label printing machine and print me some more things for my signage pieces. Last night I made 6 jars of cowboy candy, and I gave one of them to the guy that brought me the load of brick for him to take home with him. But it was my first time making it. They turned out perfect, and so here soon I'm gonna go to the one of the local produce places around here that has produce year-round. Buy me some jalapenos from Mexico, and I'm gonna come back and make me a few more larger quarts of cowboy candy. Evidently that's a really popular thing around here, the cowboy candy is. And but I made some small jars, like little half pints, and but I'm looking at making maybe 6 quarts coming here soon of it. And of course I use some other pepper stuff in mine as well, so mine's a little bit more heat level wise than what your standard cowboy candy really is, because around here a lot of people like a lot of heat. So I like flavor, a lot of people like heat, and we live on 2 different worlds. So but I make things that acquire to other people. So yeah. Now, one more thing before I cut this thing off, which I know a lot of y'all probably don't give a shit right now, but I ordered me another 10 things of vanilla bean, and here's the reason why. Because when I make my apple butter, it requires cinnamon and vanilla extract. Well, I have cinnamon extract, and I got this my little brain started spinning a wheel. So I'm gonna make me personally myself a cinnamon vanilla extract, and that way I can use that whenever, say, like when it calls for like 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, 2 teaspoons of vanilla, I can be like, well, here's 2 teaspoons of this, of the same thing, and everything's taken care of. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna be working on here soon. And I might give it a whirl at the farmer's market, but I'm not for sure yet. But until then, y'all have a great Sunday, and I'm going to shut up, go inside, and I'll see y'all again soon, hopefully with a lot better news.